only be in here. I'll be a little bit of everywhere.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jim. Thank you so much as always for joining me. Today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new offering from Remette called the Remette RT-Bee, as in B-E-E, the little insect. And I don't think I really have to describe that any further because you heard the stupid song that I wrote and then I had AI perform. And hopefully you guys aren't getting too tired of those because I know I'm enjoying the hell out of making them. Even though sometimes it takes far longer to write the lyrics than it does to do all the photography and all the video work on these damn reviews. Anyway, stick 'em. This bee has a stinger. I'm pretty excited about this one because it's so unique and so different. I don't think that this is going to be a knife for everyone. I just want to get that out straight away. You guys know when I come out here and show you new stuff, it's not about, hey, you need to buy this. Because I don't care if you buy something or not. I just want you, if you're interested in something, to know what you're getting and know if you're going to enjoy it. This is, I think, going to be marketed to a very limited crowd. Because built into the rear of the titanium frame here is a specially hidden titanium poker that can be used as a toothpick, as a skewer. You could pick up, food with it, grapes or little chunks of meat or cheese or whatever you're skewering. It's a little pokey thing. You can do a lot of damage with this, actually. It's kind of ridiculously sharp. So you've got a super compact little EDC with a small but what I feel is a very useful blade and the addition of the poker in a knife that's built with a quick action. It's a smooth action built on a flipper with an excellent detent and a gorgeous blade finish, something that Remette has been working very, very hard on, which is their pearlescent blade finish coatings. It's very slick, very cool. And you've got a wonderfully contoured titanium frame. So it fits very comfortably in the hands. Now, as I mentioned, it is small, so if you're holding back here in the traditional kind of saber hold, then your pinky is going to be hanging off the back, but they have carved this up nicely so your finger drops into that. However, you can choke up with the prominent blade choil here, and you can get up on the jimping and get a nice full 4-finger hold on this. Pinch grip is going to be nice and easy to work with as well. And because of the belly on this Wharncliffe style blade, it's almost a reverse tanto, but it's definitely closer to being a Wharncliffe. You've got a nice bit of belly to that blade as well, so it's going to be, as I mentioned, very, very good for cutting tasks. It's very easy because of the way the tip drops down so low. It drops down below the pivot point, which is where I really like the tip of most of my knives, because then it's very easy, especially if you're opening boxes or whatnot, just to kind of rock up a little bit and then use that very sharp tip without having to go all the way up here. It just makes your life a little bit easier if you're actually using your knives. Oops, didn't mean to flick that out of my own hand. So as you see, you can reverse flick it, you can thumb flick it. Those thumb studs work great. And then the flipper tab up here. Another thing that you're going to notice immediately in the design is going to be the speed holes that are carved out of the frame. They have kind of a mayo flavor, and the laser etched and anodized titanium pivot adds a bit of zing, or should I say sting? No, God, don't do that. Don't do that with the stupid buttons. And I think that this is making this Bee knife another really uniquely designed model from Remette that stands out from the crowd. There's really not a lot out there that looks like this. And certainly not with all of these things in one knife. They've also done a very good job on making that choil comfortable. They have beveled off the harsh edge on either side of the choil, and you're not running into the heel of the edge either. So if you have like a big fat finger where it may extend right up onto that corner, you're not going to have too much of an issue. The jimping is sufficient. It's not crazy. It's not super sharp, but it gets the job done. There is your quarter-length back spacer that wraps around to protect the tip. And you've got a hidden lanyard post back there. So if you like lanyards, you're in good shape. If you hate lanyards and you don't want a big old hole in your frame making things ugly, then you don't have to worry about it. It's nice and hidden away. Titanium pocket clip has just the perfect amount of tension, and the ramp works really, really well, getting it in and out of the pocket. The contouring, as I mentioned, is done very nicely, has a nice ergonomic shape to it. They have chamfered the edges nicely around the frame as well. So all around in the hand, it feels really, really good. Another thing that I like is the accordion style lock bar relief cut that you see there. It's not going to be snagging on your pocket or your pants material because the hump of the clip, the ramp of the clip is all the way down here. The contact point is very far away from where that lock bar relief cut is, so no issues there. So all the way around, they've designed a nice little EDC knife. And if you are the kind of person that likes to use a toothpick a lot, then you're certainly going to have that usefulness out of the Bee. But otherwise, maybe you're at a function, you're at some sort of little dinner party, maybe it's some sort of office party, and you don't want to be that guy that's reaching your hands into the cheese dish. What do they call those boards? Where they have like the meats and cheeses laid out fancy on the boards. Charcuterie or something like that. You don't want to be that guy that's just reaching your grubby stubbies into the food. You can just simply use this, skewer the food. Probably pile a few things up on there and pull it right off. Now, being titanium, it cannot rust or corrode in any way. And titanium is naturally hypoallergenic. What I would say to do is if you're going to use this for anything related to food or to stick in your mouth for some reason, you're going to want to use probably isopropyl rubbing alcohol in between uses to clean it off really well, disinfect it, make sure nothing is left behind. Just be your normal sanitary self. You guys learned all about that in 2020, didn't you? How to keep shit clean. They even taught you how to wash your hands and what song to sing while you were doing it so that you knew you were doing it long enough. Oh, what a time we have lived in. My goodness gracious. All right, let's get into the specs here because that is going to be super important for everyone watching. Your overall length is a compact little 6.97 inches with a blade length of just under 2.8 inches. This is M390 that they are listing at 59 to 61 HRC on the Rockwell scale. And this is a hand ground blade with their specialized pearlescent finish. Now, that would typically mean in any brand, the rare times that you hear from a manufacturer that your knife is going to be hand ground, that's generally going to increase the cost tremendously. Keep in mind that this is only $195 direct from Remette on their website. Now, if you're watching this right as I'm uploading it, I have already messaged them and asked them if there are any discount codes that I can offer you guys so that you can save a little bit more money. Look in the description down below to see if they have come through for me or not. Because at the time of recording this, I wasn't able to get a hold of them, so I just don't know yet. But the answer will be in the video description down below. Okay, where was I at? Okay, sheep's foot style blade. Your closed length or your handle length is 4.02 inches. Your blade thickness is 120 thousandths of an inch thick. Just under a half-inch total thickness from scale to scale. Guess what the weight is? Crazy. 3.38 ounces. I don't know why I said guess. There's no way you could have guessed that. That's a really precise number. What am I, an idiot? Everything is made of titanium outside of the blade, and your screws and your thumb studs. Those are all stainless steel. Oh, you might be wondering, are there bearing pivots? Yes. Or are there bearings around the pivot? Probably a better way to say that. Man, my mind is not working today. What in the world's wrong with me? You actually have ceramic bearings around that pivot. So as I mentioned, everything is nice and smooth. Now the lock bar tension on this, on my example here, is a little bit stiff. So there's a little bit of friction on that blade. So it may require a little bit of break-in. I've only had this for about 4 or 5 days. I've carried it 3 times now because I wanted to get a feel for the knife. I always do before I come out and review them. Carry it, see how well they carry, see if the clip goes in and out of the pocket well, see if the retention is good, see how the compactness feels or if it's too big for a pocket, and the cutting performance on very minor cutting tasks so that I don't scar up the blade before photography and video review time. And so far, this knife has been a dream. They did a great job on this, as they've done with everything lately, because as a brand, Remette has evolved into an exciting and creative brand that's exhibiting significantly higher levels of quality than their pricing would dictate. Now, if you haven't tried one yet, grab one. They've got a model for just about everyone. Maybe the Bee isn't going to be for you, and that's fine, because they have a lot of wildly different knives available, and they even have some cool, unique lock systems like the Peregrine Falcon here, which has the lock actuated by a pusher, that's set up in the pivot. Why am I having a hard time today getting that open? I haven't had an issue the whole time I've owned it. And then, of course, you guys know what that sound is. Ah, yes, the swordfish. The awesome gravity knife that everybody has wanted to get their hands on. Slick and cool, and lots of different options available in that as well. So this is what when I say that Remette is really flourishing and expanding as a brand, this is what I'm referring to. The quality is fantastic. Their finishes are unique and cool. And so far so good on their heat treat and their edge retention. I haven't had any issues with any of mine, and some of them get used much more than others, and this one is one of them. I've been carrying this quite a lot. It's done a fair amount of cutting, including some cardboard, and I've been very, very happy with it. One thing is I still can't quite front flip it very, very well. So anyway, as a brand, I think that they have just exploded in 2024, and I'm glad to see it. And I'm glad to see it they haven't gotten crazy with their pricing yet either. They're keeping everything well grounded. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for joining me as always, and I'll see you on the next video.